Hi, Natalie. Thank you so much for joining me for this interview today.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So for those of you watching right now, this is my friend Natalie. She's one of my very good friends, and she is a yoga teacher both in the show and in real life. So Natalie, for the people who don't know you who are watching, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Natalie. I live in New York City. I teach yoga to my friends and family right now while my studio is closed. And I absolutely love this practice. I started teaching in 2018 with the goal of trying to share my love of yoga with as many people as I can.
That's so awesome. And I have taken classes from you and they have been so fun. For those of you watching, like once her studio's back open after COVID, definitely take a class from her if you can, because it's just so fun and she plays the best music. So,
Thank you.
of course. So to follow up on that question, what is your favorite part about practicing yoga yourself or teaching it to others?
So I have a history of doing competitive sports when I was younger. So I played soccer, I ran track. My first ever yoga class, I was absolutely in love. I realized, I'm pretty sure it was not an official class. I did it like on a beach towel, but it was the first time I really experienced moving my body without it being a competition, without pain being a gain. It was more about how you feel. It was more about listening to your body, learning how to breathe, and then just being aware of the sensations that you're feeling. And then at the end, you just feel really good because when you wake up in the morning and you have a big, deep stretch, I feel like yoga is just a big, like morning stretch for your body and your mind and the breath and everything. It just is a big reset button. So I got that feeling just from my very first class and knew this was going to be a big part of my life. So I got involved. I started taking classes more, and I just couldn't believe how much of an impact this practice had on my mindset, on my body, on just I say that yoga is self-love because it is such a practice where you're listening to yourself, you're doing what feels okay, you're pushing where it feels right, but you're not pushing through anything that doesn't feel good. So I think it's a good mindset to develop. It's a good way to practice compassion towards yourself and challenging yourself in a healthy way. And that mindset can be really productive both on and off the mat. So that's my favorite part of yoga. And it's so fun. And I've met some amazing people just from the communities that we've developed there. So
That's amazing. I really resonated with everything you said because I also played competitive sports growing up, softball, track, basketball. So I totally get that. And I feel like when I first started doing yoga, it was really just nice to be able to like focus inward, be introspective, and just care for my body and my
mhm,
mind because yoga is so much about the mind as well. And
yeah.
I think that's part of why a lot of actors and acting schools use yoga as a teaching tool. Like when I went to acting school, we did yoga every single day. Literally, it is so like it's such an important part of the learning and the craft. And I think it's just valuable for anybody, but especially artists because we carry a lot of stress, and it's good to just sit down, take care of our body and our mind, and like fuse the two together and make ourselves stronger in all aspects. So
Yeah.
that's what I just love what how you put that. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Of course. So my next question is, what was it like to create the footage for the show in your own home? Because obviously we didn't film together due to COVID, and you filmed. I asked you. I told you exactly what I wanted, and I asked you if you would create it, and then you did it. And so I'm wondering, like, what was that process like, and was it different from teaching a real class in any way? Did it feel different because it wasn't a class; it was for an art project?
Honestly, I really wanted it to feel like a real class. So I tried to make it as much like my regular class as possible. The only difference is I moved a few more things out of the way in my apartment because I wanted more of a shot. When I teach online, on Zoom to my friends and family, sometimes my body's cut off. Sometimes I don't have time after my day job to clear my apartment space and make it look perfect. So it's a little bit more imperfect in real life. But there were moments where I might say, or I might mess up and say the wrong, like right or left or whatever, which happens occasionally. And I wanted to keep that because I think that is important. It's part of what happens when you teach a class, especially in lockdown, and you can't just focus on just teaching verbally and giving us adjust and assist and everything. So a lot of it is being able to multitask, which was a big thing for me to learn having left the studio and now teaching from home. I have to practice and demonstrate as I'm calling out the postures. And so that can get a little bit tough at times, but I wanted to capture that imperfection in this footage that I filmed for you.
I love it. I love that because it makes it, as you said, like more authentic and more
Yes.
real life. And the show itself is very authentic, very relatable, real life situation. So I feel like keeping those imperfections in your footage and just the footage in general and the things that we say is just so important because not everything is going to be perfect in real life anyway. So I really like value that, and I think what you said about having to be a good multitasker, that's something that everybody in COVID has had to learn, but especially people who run their own business, entrepreneurs and artists, because we have to shift from focusing on our one niche to kind of being like a jack of all trades. So you have to
Yes.
work through the postures, make sure that you're talking through everything while you're watching everybody, and then you have to focus on, can they even see me on camera? And like you said, it's a lot, and I really commend everybody who's had to transition in this way because it's a lot. But I think it's making everybody kind of more well-rounded, and also probably just appreciative of what we had before and how easy everything was, and flexible to, like you said, those little things that are not going to be perfect because we can't be so controlling when we have so much to focus on. So
Yeah. Another big thing too for a lot of us yoga teachers and other people who are used to working as an independent contractor within another larger company is that when I started teaching away from the studio and teaching individually, I had to not just show up and sequence a class and be a teacher and make the playlist. I had to do all that, plus I had to get word out. I had to capture the signups. I had to manage the amount of people and students I was getting in my classes. I had to do the advertising. All of that work is usually handled by the studio, and that was a whole other facet of this business that I had to learn. And at first it was really difficult. I was getting a lot of friends and family in my classes, which was really wonderful, but at times I felt like it didn't feel like I wanted just strangers to start showing up. You just want that. You want to touch someone new in your teaching. You want to share this practice with somebody who may not have ever been on a mat before. So I really wanted to kind of reach further, and it was definitely hard. So that was a whole new facet of the business that I had to learn. But I do think in hindsight, it taught me so much because I can take my new Instagram with me as I teach in the studio. I can still use those same skills to know what it takes to get new students and to spread the word, and that's only going to help. So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise in a way. But yeah, definitely a challenge.
I love that though, like a blessing in disguise for sure. And for me personally, I feel like I can resonate to some of that because
Absolutely.
as an artist, when we first start out, especially like you said, it's family and friends, and that's nice. But we want to expose our work to new people and touch new people. So I'm just really happy for you and excited that you are able to grow your company. Because basically you're the company of yourself. You are I and Natalie and I'm a yoga instructor. Follow my Instagram. It's really cool because a lot of people don't take the initiative to even try to do something like this. And like, it's just so amazing that you are, and from personal experience, and teach great classes. So I'm just excited
Thank
to see what
you.
you do in the future.
I mean, I still feel like I look at you and what you've done, and it just blows my mind. You know, you're creating so much and you're doing so within such extreme boundaries with the way that the world is right now and the way that we have to be accommodated. And it really is so impressive to me. So I'm really proud to be your friend.
I love you. That's so sweet. I'm like blushing.
Oh,
Okay, so my next question is, for people watching who are like, ooh, Natalie seems super cool. I want to take one of her yoga classes in the future, or I at least want to check her out. She seems awesome. Do you have like social media or a website, whether that's personal or for yoga specifically, that people can follow? And if so, what is it?
yeah, so it's just at Natty Yogini. So it's actually NATTY_YOGINI. And that is my yoga Instagram. You can also follow my personal, which I think is linked in my bio, just Natalie Minuto, one word. But I should be starting up classes soon. My day job is starting to calm down a little bit now that we're out of the woods with holidays and everything. So I should be able to start bringing classes back. And when that happens, I will make a huge fuss over it and you won't be able to miss it. So stay tuned. You can shoot me a follow. And yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to link both of your Instagrams below this video. So if you're watching, just click on her name below this video and definitely check out her classes once she gets them going again. So my last question is, and this is more about the show, but for the people who are going to watch, if you could tell them one thing about the show before they watch, what is it?
Definitely give it a shot. It is the most authentic thing you'll see because it is created in a lockdown, about a lockdown. And the cast is super diverse and it has a lot to offer, and Sam is incredible. So definitely check out her work. And when you're done, see her other work as well. She's got some really important stuff out there, and artwork is so important to pay attention to, especially now.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. I really appreciate everything you just said. That was just so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you so much for doing this interview. Again, it was just so awesome getting to talk to you.
Yeah, it was so good to catch up.
Yes. So for those of you watching, Virtual Love in Lockdown premieres on April 20th. The first episode drops then, and then we'll be releasing each episode every single week. So it's going to be a few weeks of a lot of fun. So please stay tuned. And again, thank you, Natalie. It was good to see you.